So some of that other touring that you mentioned, was that with your other band, Sinru?
I did a lot of touring with Sinru when I was. Thanks for pronouncing it right. A lot of people say it wrong.
I listened to our radio interview, so.
Yeah, that helps. We usually just whatever goes. But I did a lot of touring. I've been doing that band since I was 19 years old.
Are they still active?
Yeah. Yeah, as often as it can be.
Mm-hmm.
But did a lot of touring with Sinru, and that led to the bigger touring that I did in my early, mid, and late 20s, I guess, or mid and late, with Daniel Hart, who is a virtuoso violinist who kind of shows up all over popular music. And he's a very good friend of mine. We played shows together, his college band in Sinru, and we became close friends when he started doing his own thing, asked me to help him with it. And it was a band called The Physics of Meaning. He does solo stuff now, carries the same songs, but we had many extensive tours, and Annie Clark was in that band before she split to do St. Vincent. She was on her way out as I came in, because they grew up on the same block together. And so, yeah, that's led to a lot of touring, and it's led me to have a friendship with her, and she's, so great. And she and I both worked on Daniel's solo album together. Like, she produced it, and I played many of the instruments, and we kind of all mixed together in Dallas, me and her and Daniel and Jim Eno from Spoon at Public Hi-Fi.
It was awesome.
Yeah, but yeah, Daniel, that was a lot of touring and a lot of teaching me how to do it, because he's played with everyone. Like, of course, with Annie, with John Vanderslice and the Polyphonic Spree, and just came off tour with Other Lives, who were on tour with Radiohead, and he's really done it. He played with Midlake, and yeah, I mean, he is at the core of so much of popular music, and no one knows. You've got Andrew Bird, who he's also played with, which is saying a lot because he's a violinist. You've got Andrew Bird, and then you've got Daniel Hart, and if you hear violin, I guess, and Owen Pallett. Like, one of these three guys is playing the violin if it's featured on a popular song on, like, college radio over the last 6 or 7 years. You know what I mean? And he's such an amazing guy, and it taught me so much, and he took me with him so many places, and so that's where I learned a lot of that touring.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I noticed, so it seems like you're pretty excited about Cinder still, and you're still active in that.
Yeah, I'll do that till I'm dead.
Do you feel like Lil Iffy can kind of help keep the lights on with that?
Yeah, I do. And Lil Iffy is currently helping me keep the lights on. So, not having to do other things at the moment makes it very possible to keep multiple projects going.
Do you worry that that would ever subsume or consume something that you wanted to do with Cinder?
It definitely does, but that's what happens when you do two things. If you do any two things in your life, 100% of your time turns into fractions. So I just have to be organized about it. And the guys who do Sinru with me, unfortunately for me, also Zach is in Sinru, and so at least I'm always kind of with it, and it helps me, and because it helps me live my life without having it Lil Iffy keeps me from having to have one more thing besides music. So I think of all my music as one piece. Yeah. So
cool. Well, let's see. What can we expect from the show tonight? Is all of Dude Source there?
Every bit. Yeah. It's
hometown.
Yeah. These are the best shows. Like, there are no Lil Iffy shows like what you'll see tonight. And we have a guest tonight who is this brilliant soul singer. Named Yasmin Hoffman, who sings all over the new album, and tonight's the first time we will ever perform with her live, and she's beautiful and talented and drives a party, and is this star, and this is really, like, she hasn't done too much. We kind of got lucky. I did sound for a band that she was in. It was like her first time ever singing in public, and was like, what? And so I kind of went out on a limb, I thought, and asked her if she would ever want to come sing a hook on the song, and she told me that she actually had been to a bunch of shows and was a fan, and so we had an immediate relationship, and I'm hoping to produce a record for her and Tom and I. And so the show tonight I need so bad, because the tour that I'm on right now has been just completely consumed with chaos, which is chaos whether it works out or not. You know what I mean? This tour, we parted ways with a booking agency in January, about halfway into booking this tour. It's the longest tour we've ever been on, and the agency was essentially like, we took too much on, we can't do it, sorry, see you later. And so we had 6 weeks to book 6 weeks, which is not easy.
Yeah.
And so this tour, 3 shows of 4 weeks of touring, 3 shows held up. And I had to rebook or save all the other shows. And sometimes confirming a show 90 minutes before we played. And it really and that's the thing that I've never experienced with any of these other projects. Being on this tour with Lil Iffy and being pushed kind of to the limit of myself. Because I feel like I could kind of do anything, and that's what I think gives a person the confidence to do something like Lil Iffy. Yeah, we can do this for real. It's just, it's not that much weirder than anybody else, but it is, I think, on paper. But it's been really hard and really rewarding in that even when we are only 90 minutes before showtime and we have to start tweeting and blasting, we can, in Lubbock, Texas or wherever, we can draw 40, 50 people who want to see it, and we've never been there before.
That's awesome.
So it really, despite the chaos and the fact that it made me think a lot of times that I might die because I'm dramatic, we made it all the way back here and get to play here now because we held together and kind of dove into the chaos instead of running from it or whatever.
Yeah.
So hard.
Does this feel like a celebration then?
God, it feels like a breath. It feels like that Leonard Cohen version of Hallelujah. Oh, I'm so glad to be here.
Yeah.
We drove into town at 7. We finished our last show, which was amazing. That's the thing. This tour has been horrible, horrible rolling hell. But the shows keep working out, and it makes me feel guilty for being so miserable. Just miserable from work, having to do the whole thing, book the thing twice. Not miserable ever from playing the shows. But we played this great show in Bloomington, Indiana, for whatever reason. This is our second time there, and both times have been packed, and both times people just 100% go nuts over it.
It's a great town.
Oh man, great town. The moment we finished, the last note of Cedric Diggory's Body, which has been our set closer on this tour, I closed my laptop and walked to the car, and they got stuff settled up, came to the car, and we drove straight to Knoxville. I was downtown here in Knoxville at 7:30 a.m. If just nothing felt sure and nothing felt right because of all the chaos until then. So yeah, more than a celebration. Yeah, it feels unbelievable. Yeah, and I'm ready. I'm fine going back out and stuff like that. It was just the situation with that booking agency.
Yeah.
You just made it go haywire. So yeah.
Is there a point in the distance that you're aiming for with this project, or do you already feel like you've taken it further than you expected?
Oh, I thought we were only going to do Wantcore for sure. But Zach and I sort of made a promise that as long as there was momentum building, that we wouldn't stop. And everything's been really cool and steady in that regards. And it's afforded us kind of it's still a struggle, of course, but a cool lifestyle, in that we do these tours and then pay up our bills and hang out and kind of do what we want to do and then go back out. Versus the old indie routine of struggle forever. You do it and you break even, you feel great about it because money doesn't belong in art or whatever, but it feels nice to be able to come home and kind of relax. So we promised ourselves when that started to happen that we wouldn't stop until it did, And so here we are with a 3rd album coming out. And I probably won't record any more albums, but not Wizard albums anyway. I like a trilogy, and it gives it a nice defined
beginning,
middle, and end. And I feel like I could probably keep writing them forever, because so many ideas that transfer so well to what we're doing. That it's just fun. I guess everyone feels like they can do fun forever, but I just don't want to wear it out. For the most part, I think having it and having a exclamation point on it will make everybody feel good after they think they feel bad, feel like they want more. But we're going to keep touring for as long as we can because the shows have kind of been what it's about anyways. And yeah, we've had some nice things go our way in the last little bit. So I don't think we'll have to stop soon. And the shows keep getting better, I think, and the tours keep getting more profitable, which makes it possible for us to bring more people along. Because so much of these non-Southern shows have gone so great, and they've never seen the full show. You know, we've never had the money to bring more people, and it just gets bigger and crazier and more like punch you in the face.
Yeah.
With fun, I guess. As you add people to it. So that's my goal. Is I'll feel like we did it once we do a full tour with everybody.
Awesome.
But it's not really fair otherwise. We've been having all these horrible, wonderful adventures and leaving them here to work at GameStop or wherever they work.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tom distributes liquor and Bebe sells video games. So this touring is not that far of a cry from those things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thanks for talking to me, man.
Sure. I kind of got it.